This is Motoring Today, the Philippines' premier and longest-running weekly motor news and features TV and online magazine. I'm Wee Gamboa.
And I'm Tin Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for.
On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss more about the PUVMP update. Our road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on what to do when one encounters a double solid yellow line. Strictly no overtaking. This week's Buying Super shall be the limit on the number of passengers in PUVs. Showcase this week shall have the compact MPV from Toyota, the Veloz 1.5V CVT. While for race weekend, we shall have the highlights of the 2024 Philippine Overland Expedition media briefing.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are on this week's episode of Motoring Today. Join us.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. The cost of the PUVMP is now being felt by drivers and operators of jeepneys, and it may be more than what transport authorities have calculated. At least one member of the House thinks so.
Will the minimum fare on modern jeepneys rise to as much as 30 to 40 pesos? A party list representative in the House of Congress fears this might happen. During a House Committee on Transportation hearing, one rider party list representative Bonifacio Bosita said that based on the figures presented by the LTFRB, drivers of jeepneys need to generate at least 6,000 and 7,000 pesos per unit daily to cover the cost of acquiring a modern jeepney. Bosita added that transport authorities may have to drastically raise the minimum fares to give jeepney drivers a chance at a decent livelihood.
Kung hindi po nagkakamali dito sa aking analysis, kung 15 pesos na pamasahe sa pampasaherong jeep, hindi po kayang ma-implement ito or ma-avail ng ating mga babayan para bayaran ang lahat ng mga obligasyon sa halagang 15 pesos. Kung wala ang LTFRB na assessment, Mr. Chief, based on my personal evaluation, magiging 30 to 40 pesos ang pamasahe ng ating mga kababayan para makover yung mga dapat bayaran.
During the hearing, LTFRB officials acknowledged the correctness of Bosita's calculations, but noted that jeepney drivers and operators now have options to acquire modern jeepneys that cost less than 1 million pesos. LTFRB Chairman Teofilo Guades III said Bosita's calculations are based on modern jeepneys that cost 1.6 million pesos each, while there are now locally manufactured or assembled modern jeepneys that are sold at around 980,000 pesos. Guades added that the LTFRB is not considering raising fare to support the PUV modernization program.
If one looks at it from a wider perspective, commuters ultimately shoulder the cost of a more comfortable, convenient, reliable, and efficient mass transport system. Meanwhile, transport groups have been complaining about authorities seeming to favor imported over locally made modern PUVs. This complaint has reached the ears of at least one senator, and the LTFRB has responded.
Participants in the PUV modernization program have the sole responsibility for choosing what brand or modern jeepneys to acquire. This was stressed in a press statement by LTFRB Chairman Teofilo Guades III. He said that the government has no say over the choice of modern jeepneys acquired by cooperatives or other buyers as long as the units meet standards for PUV's classification and requirements for roadworthiness and safety. The press statement was apparently issued after Senator Raffy Tulfo began questioning supposed government plans to acquire PUVs from China. Tulfo said the move reeks of corruption while claiming that local jeepney manufacturers are rolling out quality modern jeepneys at lower costs. These developments are welcomed by local jeepney makers, including Elmer Francisco of Francisco Motors.
Meron tayong ginawang standard na model. Ang standard model natin is 150 kilometers yung range. When we compare side by side, yung diesel engine, yung diesel jeepney pati yung electric jeepney, for the same distance, yung cost mo ng fuel pati yung cost mo ng charging, less than half.
Transport groups are also looking at finding ways to participate in and benefit from the PUV modernization program.
Etong modelo na to, ni-remodel namin, pero meron kaming lalabas ngayong February na totally bago siya lahat. So ang cost nito nasa 800 to 850,000 nang hindi kami nabibigyan ng subsidiya.
The current administration needs to support local jeepney makers to help our fellow PUV drivers get a quality modern jeepney for the PUVMP at a low cost. Government has succeeded in getting tollway operators to implement cashless payment systems at tollways for greater efficiency. Now, it is moving to implement a single system of toll payments for greater convenience of motorists.
The Toll Regulatory Board is moving to get tollway operators to implement a system of payment that will allow motorists to use only one RFID in all expressways. The TRB has set a July 2024 deadline for a purely cashless payment system with interoperability, meaning motorists only need to use a single RFID in passing through entry and exit gates at toll roads. At present, two separate RFID systems are being implemented by two groups of tollway operators. Easy Trip, used at tollways operated by Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation, and AutoSweep, used at tollways of San Miguel Corporation. SMC uses AutoSweep at the South Luzon Expressway, the Southern Tagalog Arterial Road Tollway, Skyway, Skyway Stage 3, Tarlac Pangasinan La Union Expressway, Muntinlupa Cavite Expressway, and the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Expressway. MPTC uses Easy Trip at the North Luzon Expressway, NLEX Harper Link, Subic Clark Tarlac Expressway, Cavite Laguna Expressway, C5 Link, and the Cavite Expressway. TRB said tollway operators began testing and tweaking respective cashless payment systems in the month of January with the aim of finally removing cash lanes by June this year. It remains unclear how the one RFID system for all tollways will work. Will motorists still have to load up on two separate accounts?
Social media is now trending with complaints from some motorists about problems with their accounts as tollway operators are moving to replace their RFIDs, apparently as part of the move for interoperability of payment systems. SMC and Metro Pacific have been competing to acquire utilities from toll roads to light rail transit systems. They could find other groups competing for another prize, the MRT3.
Department of Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista has spoken. The DOTR will reject the unsolicited proposals to take over, maintain, and operate the MRT3 from Metro Pacific Investments Corporation and San Miguel Corporation. According to news reports, Bautista prefers to offer up for bidding the privatization of the MRT3 to more groups to allow government to dictate the terms. Already, the DOTR is working with the Asian Development Bank to draft the terms of reference for bidding out the project to privatize the MRT3. The MRT3 contract with the Sobra Peña-led Metro Rail Transport Corp is set to expire in 2025. The DOTR plans to publish the invitation to bid for the privatization of the MRT-3 in the second half of the year.
SMC and Metro Pacific have been going head-to-head in many big-ticket infrastructure projects and programs of government, and getting close to both having a seeming oligopoly of huge sectors of industry. Perhaps it will be to the advantage of government and the general public for more groups to be competing in the same industries. And those are the latest news and developments in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. Motoring Forum has been discussing issues concerning the government's PUV modernization program. And with consolidation deadline passed and the transport authorities now looking at the next stage of the program, Motoring Forum discusses more issues that still concern stakeholders.
Transport authorities are now touting 74% of jeepney franchises consolidated nationwide, 51% in Metro Manila as a success. In the words of Department of Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista, the hard deadline was effective, and so will the PUV modernization program. He also says there would no longer be an extension, even as other DOTR officials believe a sufficient number of PUVs has consolidated or been absorbed by cooperatives and corporations to avoid any transport crisis in the future. According to Bautista, with consolidation effectively done, the DOTR will focus on rationalizing routes to deploy PUVs more efficiently to ensure against the cutthroat competition that characterized jeepney transport for years. Refuting critics of the PUVMP who say that it is anti-poor and that it would see drivers losing their livelihood, Bautista argues that the co-ops and corporations would still need drivers for their modern PUVs, and they have agreed to absorb many into their operations. Bautista also reiterates earlier assurances that those who've consolidated will be given time to modernize their operations. 5 to 8 years, he now says, even as government will continue to help them with subsidies and soft loans. Still, these assurances are not convincing those who don't agree with how the government is implementing the PUVMP. They are still arguing that government should put the brakes on the PUVMP, which has cost the livelihood of not just drivers and individual franchise holders, but also those supporting the jeepney sector. One of those pushing this argument is Elmer Francisco of Francisco Motors, which has come out with a more affordable e-jeepney that meets government standards for modern PUVs while still maintaining the iconic traditional jeepney design. Despite supporting the PUVMP in a way by providing participants with an affordable e-jeepney, Elmer Francisco believes government should hit the pause button on the program. The chairman and chief executive officer of local jeepney manufacturer E. Francisco Motor Corporation says the PUVMP has seen local jeepney manufacturers, both the big ones like Francisco Motors in Sarao and a handful of backyard jeepney makers, lay off workers or close shop altogether. Elmer Francisco points out a flaw in the PUVMP, which needs a bigger allocation for subsidies, noting that the 1.2 billion peso allocation will only subsidize 4,200 units, while the target is to replace 250,000 old traditional jeepneys. Joining a cooperative also has its drawbacks. According to Elmer Francisco, some co-op kingpins demand money, up to 30,000 pesos, from drivers to become members of co-ops. Others noted that consolidation and joining cooperatives meant losing ownership of their jeepneys, and if the co-op is mismanaged, they will end up with nothing to show for their participation in the PUVMP. Already, Congress is moving to investigate complaints about the corrupt practices that may have tainted the conceptualization and planned implementation of the PUVMP. House Speaker Martin Romualdez wants to investigate allegations that current transportation officials are in cahoots with previous officials in negotiating for the imported modern jeepney units that will replace the old units. Meanwhile, Senator Raffy Tulfo is also raising questions about government plans to purchase vehicles from China for the PUVMP, saying this reeks of corruption when local makers can produce a quality modern jeepney at a lower cost. The LTFRB has come out to say that co-ops are free to choose from whom and what models of modern PUVs they plan to acquire and replace old units. Finally, House Speaker Martin Romualdez is asking the Department of Transportation to review the PUV modernization program.
That the PUVMP will push through is a given. It's the timelines and targets that could change. That's our Motoring Forum this week, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the Toyota Wigo.
You're back with us here on Motoring Today, and we now have this week's important motoring tips. Starting off with some road safety reminders from Toyota Motor Philippines. Kadalasang makikita ang double solid yellow line sa mga tulay. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay bawal kang mag-overtake sa kahit anong oras dahil maaari kang maaksidente katulad ng ipinapakita sa animation. Roads that have double solid yellow lines are often busy, so be a responsible driver at huwag mag-overtake. Continuing with this week's edition of Motoring Today, let's now focus on proper driver's demeanor, especially for those driving PUVs. Here's Spying Chuper this week.
Payo Chopper lang kaibigan, ako si Alejandro Luico, isang kapwa nyo chopper. Huwag nang ipilit magsakay ng pasahero kung hindi nakasya.
Ang bawat pampasadang sasakyan ay mayroong tinatawag na passenger limit o bilang ng mga pasahero na magkakasya. Kapag puno na, iwasang magtawag pa ng ilan at ipagsiksikan. Tandaan din na bawal maglagay ng ekstra bangko sa gitna ng pampasadang sasakyan.
Palaging isipin na mahalaga rin na komportable ang ating mga pasahero. Ito po si Alejandro Luico, Payo Chopper lang, kaibigan mula sa inyong kapwa nyo chopper.
Life should be filled with stories to be liked and loved. Elevate your drive with the new Honda City. Take value and performance to the next level so you can view more places and check into new experiences. With Honda Sensing, you can do all these with peace of mind with its modern design and advanced features. The new Honda City is for those who are ready to step up their game. The new Honda City. Elevate your drive.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. World of Motorsports is next. More in the world of motorsports here on Motoring Today, as we now give you Race Weekend. Race Weekend previews the coming of the 2024 Philippine Overland Expedition, taking place in the back roads and off-road trails of General Nakar and Dingalan, Quezon on February 19 to 25. Aside from the extreme 4x4 competition among teams and individual off-road warriors, the event also features an Overland Camp Jamboree from February 21 to 24.
at the clubhouse at 3rd Green Meadow. So we're having a press con for the 2024 Petron Philippine Overland Expedition. To give you an idea, this is the second year of this Overland Challenge. The Overland Challenge, kumbaga, this is a 3-man team who will Overland Expedition Challenge to go to from General Nakar to Dingalan, Aurora. So aside from this challenge, meron din siyang Overland Camper segment that Overland Leisure Camper can go camp on a remote place that can experience and also witness the expedition. If you want to join the Overland Camper, you just need a 4x4, bring all your gears, then we have marshals and the expedition leader to guide you going to the campsite. But the highlight is the expedition challenge. So you have to form a 3-vehicle, 6-man team, consists of maximum of a 1 type and minimum of 1 production. So you can be 3 production or 2 production, 1 prototype, or 1 prototype, 1 modified and 1 production. So ano yung production? It's the normal SUV that you can buy na linakyan lang natin yung mga gulong. Yung modified naman are the vehicle na inedit yung body. The prototype is totally, it's self-built. It's like an F1 car ng 4x4. Every vehicle should have fire extinguisher, first aid kit, may mga first aid certification, and may mga safety gear tayo. Gloves, helmet, 5-point seat belt is a must. Then meron tayong mga safety recovery gears. And also on-site, meron tayong mga emergency evac, saka meron coordinated tayo with the MDRRMO ng every municipal na dadaan. So the first place, the champion, will win 500,000 in cash. Second place will win 200,000 and third place will win 100,000. Kung gusto niyo makita kung ano yung highlights ng event last year, you can visit Mototesto's YouTube channel, Mototesto Overland Equipment Philippines sa YouTube. Meron doon playlist na Petron Expedition. And if you want to register, just go to our website, mototesto.com. Then select the PHLOX registration. So nandun naman yung lahat ng details.
Like every activity on 2- and 4-wheeled vehicles, overlanding has become a sport and it's growing in popularity in the country, and we expect it to grow even more. And that's News 6 World of Motorsports. We'll be back after this short break.
Isuzu D-Max.
I'm a revolution.
Into new heights.
Our car of the week is next on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. This showcase checks out the Toyota Veloz 1.5V CVT, the top-of-the-line variant of the compact MPV model spun out from the Avanza line.
The Veloz used to designate the premium variant of the Avanza, Toyota's battler in the local subcompact 7-seater MPV or multi-purpose vehicle segment. Last year, Toyota launched the Veloz locally as a standalone model, but classifying it, at least at its official website, in the subcompact crossover SUV segment, setting it apart from the lower-priced Avanzas. Toyota first rolled out the standalone Veloz in 2 trim levels, The 1.5G CVT now listed at 1.210 million pesos, and the top-of-the-line 1.5V CVT listed at 1.25 million. Add 15,000 if you want both in platinum white pearl mica. The Toyota Veloz arrived looking a lot sharper, edgier, and with a more striking and modern fashion and rear than the Avanza. Slightly longer, wider, and taller too, at 4,475 millimeters long, 1,775 millimeters wide, and 1,700 millimeters tall, and clearing the ground by 190 millimeters. The grille and bumper design looks more trendy and resembles the look of Toyota's latest crossovers and SUVs. The front and rear skid plates, the over fenders, roof rails, and rear spoiler are obvious tells that Toyota wants people to perceive the Veloz as a proper crossover or SUV. Toyota also outfitted the Veloz 1.5V CVT with sleek split-type LED headlights, LED clearance headlamps with guidelines, LED rear combination lights, LED sequential turn signal lights, LED high mounts top lamp, fog lamps front and rear, and side view mirrors that auto-adjust and retract and come with puddle lamps. Other exterior features include intermittent front and rear wipers, rear window defogger, back door garnish, fin-type antenna, 17-inch alloy wheels. All Veloz variants are equipped with smart entry and push-button start. The seats are upholstered in sporty-looking fabric and fall leather. Seats adjust manually, the driver's 6 ways, slide, recline, up and down. The second row seat for 3 slide and tumble 60/40 into what Toyota calls the long sofa mode. The third row seat for 2 splits 50/50 and also tumbles into the long sofa mode. The black and gray two-tone interior with metallic accents, the layout and design of the dash, center console and instrumentation make the cabin feel like a premium SUV or crossover. This feel of poshness is enhanced by the soft-touch synthetic leather with white accents for the door trims. Then there's the 7-inch TFT for multi-information display. No more unsightly or intrusive brake lever as the Veloz comes standard with electronic parking brake with auto hold. The steering wheel is wrapped in leather, tilts and telescopes, and comes with buttons and switches for the audio, the multi-information display, and drive mode and panoramic view monitor system on the Veloz 1.5V CVT. Multiple cup and beverage holders are available for all 7 Veloz occupants. Adding to great comfort and convenience are power windows, power and speed sensing door locks, automatic climate control with manual controls for rear vents. Those who can't live without today's personal gadgets would love the Veloz, which comes standard with wireless charger, 4 USB charging ports, and 2 12-volt accessory outlets. The Veloz audio system comes with a 9-inch display for the 1.5V CVT and 8-inch for the lower price variants. The system features Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, AM/FM radio, Bluetooth, USB, and voice command. It plays through 6 speakers. The Veloz is powered by Toyota's 2NR VE engine, the same on the top-of-the-line Avanza. The 1496cc inline 4-cylinder, 16-valve DOHC engine with dual VVTi generates 106 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 138 Nm of torque at 4,200 RPM. Mated to a continuously variable transmission, the engine provides good pulling power whenever needed, even set to normal driving mode. Eco mode should be good for stop-and-go traffic. Sport mode should come in handy for going around and past slower traffic on switchbacks out of the city. The Veloz rides and handles much like most subcompact crossovers with a suspension system with front McPherson struts and rear torsion beams tuned for comfort and stability. The Veloz rides the usual road imperfections well and doesn't wallow around curves with a bit of speed. The electronic power steering on the Veloz allows for a light hand on the wheel. The Veloz brake system uses discs on all wheels, ventilated in front and solid in the rear. Only the Veloz 1.5V CVT is equipped with the Toyota Safety Sense, a suite of advanced driver assist system that includes pre-collision system, automatic high beam, lane trace assistant, and lane keep assist. Also, only the top-of-the-line Veloz comes with a panoramic view monitor, blind spot monitor, and rear cross-traffic alert. However, all Veloz variants now available locally come standard with anti-lock brake system, vehicle stability control, hill start assist control, camera and back sonar, Toyota vehicle security system with immobilizer, indicator and alarm, emergency brake signal. Also added for safety are 3-point ELR seatbelts for all 7 occupants with pre-tensioner and force limiter for driver and front seat passenger, seatbelt reminder, ISOFIX child restraint system, and driver and front passenger airbags, side airbags, and curtain shields.
Will Toyota's decision to spin off the Veloz into a standalone model in the crossover SUV segment pay off? That's our featured vehicle in this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
If you're having problems sa cars, if there's any problems, especially with the paint, if you wanted to have the paint corrected, just let us know, just give us a call, drop by our shop so we could assess para we could show you and give you yung gagawin natin sa cars nyo, especially for the paint job. So we could detail the car and probably put ceramic coating on it. Our shop also offers ceramic coating, interior, exterior, engine, and glass detailing. We also offer premium car wash. We also do paint job, certain panels na kailangan natin i-repaint. So we also do that. We also do a wash over paint also for cars. So
Welcome back to Motoring Today. The auto industry takes center stage.
Porsche Philippines celebrated 75 years of Porsche sports cars with a Festival of Dreams highlighted by the local launch of the Cayenne e-Hybrid. The Festival of Dreams marks the 75 years since the Porsche 356 #1 Roadster received its license to operate on the road in Germany in 1948. Porsche expands its local lineup with the new Cayenne e-Hybrid, which is powered by a 3.0-liter V6 turbo engine paired to a new electric motor integrated into the 8-speed automatic transmission. Together, the combustion engine and electric motor achieve a combined output of 470 horsepower and 650 Nm of torque. Porsche sees the addition of the Cayenne e-Hybrid further boosting the jump in local sales in the local market. Porsche Philippines also held groundbreaking ceremonies for a state-of-the-art Porsche Center that will soon rise beside the current PGA Cars building along EDSA Green Hills. Toyota Motor Philippines showcased and offered free test drives of its extensive lineup of hybrid electric vehicles at the Go Electrified with Toyota event held at the Bonifacio High Street Amphitheater. The event featured Toyota's complete lineup of electrified vehicles, including the HEV variants of the Corolla Altis and Camry, the SUVs Corolla Cross and RAV4, the 7-seater HEV Zenix, and the electrified premium van Alphard.
At Toyota Motor Philippines, we have a leave no one behind philosophy, meaning on the road to electrification and carbon neutrality. We acknowledge that it will only work, we can only get a positive environmental impact if we go for mass adoption of electrified vehicles. So that's why we are offering a very wide range of electrified vehicles or hybrid electric vehicles for the public to choose from so that they can shift to an electrified vehicle that suits their lifestyle and their needs.
Sister brand Lexus also showcased and made available for tests its own lineup of electrified vehicles, including its first battery electric vehicle, the Lexus RZ. GAC Motor Philippines has been active in conducting group media test drives to showcase the new convenience features, ride and handling, and advanced driving assist and safety tech of the newly launched vehicles. Among the more recent media test drives is the one that showcased the MKU, GAC Motors' entry to the very competitive compact crossover SUV market.
Welcome to the GAC MKU Drive. So basically, it is the experience that we can provide for our friends in the media of the new GAC MKU. It's one of the newest models that we launched this year. where you'll be able to experience everything good about it. It's, of course, the looks, the interior, the design, the drive, and all the features inside.
According to the event organizer George Ramirez, the itinerary for the test drive was designed to showcase the many new features of the MCU, including the advanced driver assist and safety features.
We could easily have gotten here by just going straight highway and getting here and straight highway going back. So what I did was I turned off in Calax, where it's an empty highway, and then we can focus on things like adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, those kind of functions in a safe manner. Then we started climbing up to Tagaytay. Going down was the more interesting winding roads. Sharp, really twisty winding roads. You get to feel the handling of the car, how it feels in that environment. The going up and then the rest of that drive, it's just a country road, but you can now enjoy just relaxing in the car and enjoying the car to see how that would feel. So you're giving different situations. No? Like for example, on the way home now, I'm making it straight all the way back to Alabang, and that'll be just all 100% highway.
Since its launch, the MQ has done well in sales for GAC Motors, even as the GS8M Zoom and the GS8 remain the top two best sellers in the GAC lineup.
It's doing okay. So it's ideal for the Filipino families. That's what I can say about it. Customers who buy this love it because of the room, the size that it can provide for their families, older families in fact, at the right value as well. So.
And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 37th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. In honor of our dad, Butch Gamboa, I'm Wee Gamboa.
And I'm Tin Gamboa.
Happy motoring!